Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritland. I'm John Ritland, and this is my top 5 best Survivor Series pay-per-views. I've already done, as you have seen, I've done countdowns of my top 10 favorite elimination matches, top 10 worst, top 7 best and worst WWE title matches that have taken place at Survivor Series over the years. We had 29 events. 30th anniversary is coming up, so hey, why not talk about my favorite pay-per-views? Only top 5. Because honestly, if I did top 10, then that would be leaving 10 out. And really, there's been ones that have been okay. I'm not going to include ones from, from the first few years. Because as fun as those were, and don't get me wrong, they were really fun. And I liked the traditional elimination style matches. I'm going with ones that incorporated more feuds and didn't just throw people in just for the sake of that. So that's what I'm doing here. And yes, admittedly, maybe your top 5 won't be the same as mine. Leave yours in the comments or tweet me. My Twitter link will be in the description. So anyway, number 5, Survivor Series 2001. It was a whole alliance thing. And, the whole alliance to end the WWF and whatever. You had some good matches. You had a cage match between the Dudleys and the Hardys. You had an immunity battle royal. You had Edge versus Test, which was a pretty good match. Christian versus Al Snow wasn't horrible as an opener. But the main reason that this is on here is because of the main event. The main event of, the Alliance, WWE, ECW, or WCW, ECW versus WWF. And it was great with Heyman and JR on the call. It was just a great, great match. It was a great main event, but there was a decent amount of good matches on the undercard. This had a big feel. This is the type of type of pay-per-view we should have gotten with the Alliance invasion, and we didn't get it as often. Even though they produced some pretty good matches from the invasion pay-per-view to this point, they blew through it way too quick. I'm gonna plug it again. I did an invasion booking angle on my fantasy booking playlist on YouTube. Just look for it or ask me for it, and I'll tag you in it. You might have to search through some stuff. I did some other fantasy booking, but I did one a 4-part series for the invasion that would have bankrupted Vince with how much money I wanted to spend. But hey, still, Survivor Series 2001 is a tremendous pay-per-view. Very well done. And it showed why WWE did pretty okay as far as having good matchups. It's just a shame they blew through the invasion angle, but still, great pay-per-view. And number 4, Survivor Series 2011. Ziggler and Morrison opened it. Pretty good match. You had CM Punk beat Del Rio. Pretty good elimination style match also. And you had the main event, which was Rock and Cena versus Truth and Miz, which was really nice. That was a really good main event. And there was there was a solid undercard with it. Madison Square Garden had a really big feel. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great pay-per-view. Is it the best ever? No. But it had that big feel. And I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed something about it. I admit it's not the best pay-per-view ever, not even close. But it had that big feel to it. Most of the matches meant something. There were a couple throwaways. Of course, you're going to have that, especially in 2011, which was a good year for WWE, but not a great year. And it was the last year of the brand split before they decided to go away with that and come back up and do, and then, bring it back this year. But still, I enjoyed Survivor Series 2011. It was nice to see Rock back in the ring. And Truth and Miz, it was really nice to see them, which I think was a very underrated team. Awesome Truth. I really enjoyed them, and I thought it was really cool. They got to work with Rock and Cena. It's a damn shame they didn't win. They didn't beat Cena. I mean, they wouldn't have pinned The Rock, but you had to have The Rock on the winning side in his comeback match, so I understand it. But still, fun pay-per-view. Number 3, Survivor Series 1996. Really outside of the meshed, thrown together Survivor Series team with Yokozuna, Vader, on opposite sides and everything. Really, besides that one, this is a great pay-per-view. Austin versus Brett, Mankind versus Taker, Furnace and LaFon, and the Godwins versus Bulldog Owen and the New Rockers, Mari Jannetty and Leif Cassidy, a.k.a. Al Snow. Jake Roberts being in Madison Square Garden again. Jimmy Snuka making a return, which, at the time was cool. Jimmy Snuka, of course, is a murderer, but still, you had that. You had Rock's debut. That was fun. JR taking shots at Sunny on commentary, which was awesome, because Sunny was a little slut, and that's what she deserved. At the time, at least. I mean, she's trying to clean up her life now, and hopefully she does. But at the time, it was funny to see in 1996. But still, then you had Sid versus Shawn for the WWE title, and that was just fun. That was a really fun event. It really had a big feel. Madison Square Garden. It was a great atmosphere for it. It was tremendous. I really enjoyed it. Number two rather, because we're only doing top 5. Sorry, I lost track of the numbers. Number 2, almost said 3 again. Survivor Series 2009. Cena versus Triple H and Shawn as the main event. Jericho versus Big Show versus Undertaker for the world title. Elimination match where Miz and McIntyre were 2 of the surviving members on their team. 2 of the surviving members. I mean, there was another guy. It might have been Swagger. I don't remember who the other guy was. I really feel bad about that, but I remember Miz and McIntyre for sure when it was Team Miz versus Team Morrison. And you had Team Kingston versus Team Orton, which was also a fun one. You had Batista destroy Rey Mysterio in Batista's hometown. You had a really good card. There's another match that I'm forgetting about, but 2009, I don't know why this one did not do well with buy rates. It was really well built, and it was a really fun event. I really enjoyed Survivor Series 2009. And those triple threat matches were good, but that one with Cena, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels was great. It was great stuff, and I mean, I'm not a Cena fan by any stretch of the imagination, but it was really fun. And number 1, Survivor Series 2002. Victoria and Trish had a great hardcore match. Scott Steiner made his debut. First ever Elimination Chamber. Billy Kidman beat Jamie Noble after, months of build with that. You had the Dudleys reunite in that tables match that happened with that happened in the opener with 3-minute warning and Rico. You had, let's see, God, you had something else that I'm forgetting about, and I feel really bad. You had Brock versus Big Show. That happened. You had a great match between Los Guerreros, Angle and Benoit, and Edge and Rey Mysterio for the WWE Tag Team titles. The whole feel, the Madison Square Garden venue was just great. It was a really big feel. I mean, there were obviously potholes in it. Rico standing there forever because Jeff Hardy missed his cue to knock him off the ropes. But it was a fun event. It was one of the last great Survivor Series events, till at least as a whole, for a number of years. I would say till 2009, even though 03 to 08 were horrible. Still, Survivor Series 2002 is my number 1 pick. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Again, my Twitter link is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.